Good morning, everyone. I just want to talk about today just a follow-up video to the officer wellness video that we talked about on April 27th of 2025. Since that video aired, I received a lot of feedback from employees within the sheriff's office, and a lot of them. So I just wanted to really reshare and follow up on some of the concerns of the employees and the feedback. So real quick, we'll recap a little bit what we talked about. Gary Caruana was in the news, patting himself on the back, saying he supersized the officer wellness program, but again, he lacked transparency and wasn't telling you the cost of it and how he's duplicated the services unnecessarily throughout the county. These officer wellness programs, there are counselors. There's a lot of things in place through the wellness program with Winnebago County, and also through non-for-profits throughout the county. And one notable one is the Greg Lindmark Foundation, which does a fabulous job for our first responders through the area. So what Gary has done is he has hired what he calls an officer wellness director. Over 2 years, it's costing the taxpayers $343,000 in salary and benefits for this position. Also, he's also used public safety sales tax funds without the approval of the county board to purchase tens of thousands of dollars of equipment and to pay for travel expenses for the officer wellness director across the country, and also office furniture for her office space. So here's some of the again, it's a waste of taxpayer dollars. He's not a good steward of taxpayer dollar, and this causes issues. Now, officer wellness is of utmost important to me, and things that are in place can be done. But here's some of the feedback that we got from the some of the employees. So the problems with this officer wellness director being in-house, some of the employees really concerned are afraid to use the services, even more so now than before, is because her office, the officer wellness director, is on the first floor near the records department in view of a lot of people. So there's no confidentiality. And furthermore, the concerns of the employees is that the officer wellness director on a regular basis is in closed door meetings with Gary Caruana and the chief deputy Rick Saganic, which has some pretty negative impact on the employees. They're afraid that they are giving information to those guys. In reality, there's things in place already that for the officer's wellness that helps them. And it doesn't include that person reporting to Gary Caruana and Rick Saganic on a regular basis. This officer wellness director is in the command staff meetings at high levels of the deputy chief, so she's hearing all the personnel issues and everything of the ongoing in the department, which creates a lot of issues internally, not only with command staff but with the employees. Another issue is that one of the most notable things, the officer wellness, this is employee feedback, one of the most notable things is she organizes events for the sheriff's office that has nothing to do with officer wellness, and not only for the sheriff's office but for the whole county. She organizes food trucks to get to certain locations for county employees, and that's great, but I'm not sure how that has anything to do with officer wellness. So also, the officer wellness director, and I saw this firsthand April 25th, 2025 at the swearing in, she's running Facebook Live. She's running running Facebook posts, taking pictures for events. So she's also a PR and personal secretary for Gary Caruana. So there's a lot of issues. When you have an officer wellness program, you have to disconnect that from the day-to-day operation and not have it being at the beck and call of Gary and Rick. I mean, they're constantly in closed door meetings from what the employees are telling me, which creates a lot of issues. Not to mention the fact that all the duplicated services and hundreds of thousands of dollars costing the taxpayer dollars. It's not a very good steward of the taxpayer money. This is just another example of not understanding the operations at the sheriff's office and not being in touch with reality. I have added all the feedback and communicated to me by many of the employees of the sheriff's office. I added it to the long list of improvements that need to happen. And when elected as your next sheriff, this feedback will be considered very much so, and changes will be made. And more importantly to the community, your taxpayer dollars will be spent more wisely and more carefully when I'm elected your next sheriff. Thank you, be safe, and have a great week. Until next week, bye.